Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. In today's video, I will be bringing you guys my predictions for the 2022 New York Pro. And it's honestly a very similar lineup to last weekend, but this week we actually have Peter Clancier, who pulled out of last week's show because he was unable to make it due to travel issues. We also have Emir Omaragic, Andrea Presti, Theo LaGuerrier, and also a couple more guys in this show. And I actually will be giving you guys my top 8 predictions for this show. Two guys that didn't make my top 8, but I definitely want to mention in this video are Ross Flanagan and Douglas Frucci. Ross is to the left. He actually made his pro debut last week in Indy, taking 9th place, I believe. And Ross actually looked pretty good. As you guys can see here, he came in pretty conditioned. I think he just needs a little bit more size to stand with these guys. And Douglas Frucci also comes in crazy condition, but he just doesn't have the best structure. I honestly think either of these guys could place as high as top 6. And in 8th place, I have Emir Omaragic. Now, I think Emir could possibly place a little higher, but he is a guy that consistently comes in condition. He's going to need a little bit more size, I believe, to stand with these top guys. Also, he's going to need a little more quad size, and he's going to need to be a little bit wider to offset that wide midsection. But Emir is very young, only about 22, 23 years old. He's also coached by Chris Aceto. Incredible, but I believe his conditioning is going to be the reason why he's going to be in this top 8 or potentially higher. And in 7th place, I have Theo LaGuerrier. Now, Theo actually competed in 5 pro shows last year, placing top 5 in 3 of them, 6th placed in the other 2, and the most notable was taking 3rd in the Arnold UK behind Nathan D. Asher and Samson Dowda. Now, this guy looks incredible. He isn't missing anything, and from his recent updates, it seems like he's going to come in condition, but I'm just not sure how he's going to stack up size-wise. And honestly, guys, a lot of these places can be mixed and matched, but I have him in 7th place. And in 6th place, I have Dorian Haywood. Now, Dorian could place a little higher. He was very, very confident going into the Indy Pro. But I think Dorian still needs to add a little bit more size to the legs. But other than that, he also shakes a little bit when he's posing. And I think that hurts him a little bit. So, Dorian, if you're able to stick your poses and hold them for a little longer, I think he may be able to place a lot better. But Dorian has improved from last season. He's brought his back up some, and his waist is better than what it was last season. So I think Dorian will take another 6th place in New York. And in 5th place, I have Andrea Presti. Now, Andrea actually placed 16th, which is last place behind Regan Grimes at this past year's Mr. Olympia. But he was on that stage, guys, and that's a huge accomplishment just to make it to the stage. And he won the Mr. Big Evolution to actually qualify for the Mr. Olympia. Now, I think Andrea honestly isn't missing anything. He just needs to put a lot more size on and fill out his frame. Also comes in pretty conditioned, so that's why I have him in 5th place. And in 4th place, I have Peter Clancier. Now, this may look a little bit odd to you guys, but this was the most recent competition I could find of him. And this was a 2017 San Marino Pro, which was 5 years ago. So he's definitely going to look a lot different on stage this year, but I just wanted to show it so you guys kind of have an idea of what he looks like on stage. And these are some of his recent updates from Instagram. And he was supposed to compete last week in Indy, but he had travel issues and was unable to make it to the show. The only reason I don't have him placed higher is because he takes his pictures at very weird angles. So maybe he's hiding something. But either way, guys, we'll see this weekend in New York. But I do have him placing in 4th place. And in 3rd place, I have Max Charles, one of the most consistent guys in the IFBB. And as I told you guys before, if Max comes in hard like I know he can, which is hard as nails, he's definitely going to catch some guys slipping and move up. Max front shots, side shots, ab and thigh as well. Honestly, if Max is somehow able to improve from the back, he can bring his placings up. He's a lot overlooked, guys, but if you just look back at some of Max's past showings, he actually looked pretty good. He gets overlooked a lot, and I believe his posing could be improved a little bit. Now, in 2nd place, incoming dislikes, Blessing Awodabo. After winning the Indy Pro, Blessing has honestly been all the bodybuilding world has been talking about. Of course, Derek Lunsford too, because he looked incredible at that Pittsburgh guest posting, which people are still talking about. But honestly, I believe it was pretty close between Blessing and Charles last week in Indy. I believe Blessing just had a little more pop to him. I'm not saying Blessing didn't deserve the win. He definitely did. But I feel like muscle for muscle, Blessing still has a little bit more developing to do. And the guy that I have in first place definitely came in off last week, but with this show being in New York, and Justin is a New York native, I do believe he's going to bring probably one of his best packages. Now, Justin did seem a little bit burnt out at the last show just because he's been competing so much. So it is possible that he could come in off at this show, but who knows, guys? Maybe he just missed his peak last week and this week he's going to come in on. But as you guys know, I've been pretty much telling you guys in every update of Justin, I was hoping he was going to win Indy and New York. Very hard-working guy, and I have him winning this show. So he's placed second here twice, guys, so hopefully Justin is able to get this win in New York. But it's definitely going to be a very interesting battle between him and Blessing Awardable. But who knows, guys? Last week we thought it was going to be between Charles Griffin and Justin Rodriguez. So, you know, maybe between Max Charles and Peter Clancier this week, guys. But as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video, man. If you haven't done so already, like the video and sub to the channel. I'm out.